I have rheumatoid arthritis. Well, going through school, I suppose school's never easy for anyone, but there were certain times where I had to be sent home because of it. I had to have certain equipment to be able to write and even to write long essays. You know, like going on towards the later years of school and like P5, P6 and stuff, building, I suppose, you know, a bit easier target.
I've suffered with arthritis all his life, basically. First started seeing trouble more so when I started school. He was collapsing at school, couldn't kind of walk about the school, couldn't climb the stairs or come downstairs. He had to walk sideways because his hips just wouldn't kind of separate properly. Took him to the doctor for about 2.5 years. Always told he had growing pains.
At first it sounded really bad, you know, arthritis, you know, in a young kid, and it's something you think of in an older person. It was a shock at first, yeah, but once we learned about it and we were told he might grow out of it eventually, we tried to, obviously his parents just tried to make it as better for him as possible.
The hardest part for me was learning how to inject him. It's a horrible feeling, having to stick a needle in your own child. For the first few times, they had to take me out of the room the minute it was done because I would just burst into tears. But through time, it does get easier. You know you're doing it to help them. You are hurting them when you're doing it, but you're helping them at the same time. So that, I think, was one of the kind of lowest points for me.
When I was younger a lot, my mum used to sit up late at night, you know, thinking about it, and I could hear her from the other room. It wasn't really the prettiest thing. Like, I know it doesn't just affect me, it affects the whole family. And as much as I try and hide it, it'll never go away. There is times, well, like I act overconfident and arrogant about the things I do, and try and hide everything from the people that I know. I don't complain about it. I don't see the point.
My role was more to support Connor and also to support Jacqueline, and I would say it would be emotionally more than anything else. On occasions, physically, only holding on to him, etc. When it came to getting Jags, taking blood. He was a small child, he hated it in the hospital, he really hated it, he would scream blue murder. I remember that. And Jacqueline would be in an awful state, she'd have to leave, she was crying. Then it would be my turn, then I'd be leaving, crying and all the rest of it. Because it's not nice to sit and watch a child being in pain and being frightened.
When I was younger, like, I don't really remember it. Like, I've blocked a lot of those memories out. And as I've grown older, I've gotten more used to it, I guess. So I couldn't really tell you how bad it can get. But all I remember of the worst periods of time is lying in bed, having to get my breakfast, lunch and dinner took to me in bed. You know, having to shout someone up to grab the remote from the table across the room. Things like that. It's to the extent where you don't want to move. You don't want to even look outside. You know, you don't. All the light just goes away. All you're left with is just you in your head, and it's just not really a fun thing.
No, I'm really quite proud of what he's done, I must admit. What he hasn't shown to a lot of people, close friends I suppose, and the family and all, some of the pain he's had to suffer, I'm amazed how he doesn't show it to people. That surprises me. And I think there is times sometimes he should let a little of that out. He really should, for his sake, more than anything else. I think he's more exceeded our expectation because he keeps pushing himself and pushing. Unfortunately, sometimes he pushes too hard and he suffers for it. But then he doesn't tell people. We have noticed, his mother, myself, we do notice. We notice when he's in pain, but that's when he hides it for other people.
His sports, I suppose, is been hard to accept because he won't pick an easy sport. He'll pick the hardest sport he can find to prove that he's better than everybody else and nothing's going to hold him back. I don't think as a parent I could be any prouder for what he's achieved in his life. And I know he'll go on to do kind of great things. He won't let anything kind of hold him back.
I don't feel as it should be something that says you're different from anyone else. Like, I've always made myself be as good or better as some athletes I know who train constantly and they're brilliant at what they do. But that's what I strive to do to myself. I don't want to be any worse than the best.